All right, welcome back to this week's episode of Gap's Tech Corner. Today we have Michiel and Pauline again. Thank you for joining us again here. How are you?
Doing good, thanks.
Pauline, you as well?
Excellent.
Perfect, thank you. We have seen a lot of development in the logistics industry, and nowadays there's a lot of simulating games, but this is more based on trucks, which is also very interesting. But is there a possibility that we could see something like this in freight forwarding, for instance?
I think what they're mostly talking about is Euro Truck Simulator, which has kind of a cult following, right?
It's true, yeah.
Even I sometimes get in my feed when I'm scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, I'll get some random Euro Truck Simulator
I already
videos.
downloaded it, but never installed
Really?
it. Yeah, I went as far as downloading, but didn't get the time yet to try it out. But there's been so many positive reviews about it that you have to try it, I think.
Yeah, and some people actually have a setup at their home, like, obviously people have this for aviation.
Some people
Some
do.
people have that. But others really have a Euro Truck Simulator set up at home, so that's pretty cool to see. And I think these are also people who, in their daily lives, maybe have nothing to do with logistics necessarily, but just, yeah, it's just such a cult game. I think it actually draws people into the industry
I
in a
read one
way.
of the key features is that you can actually listen to the radio of the country that you're driving to. So it's connected to the
Oh,
actual radio
yeah.
in that country. And you can only receive it there, of course, and not anywhere else.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I'm actually waiting for something like that in logistics. There's like it feels like there's a simulator about every industry, about
Hmm.
everything you can do or try, or every hobby. But for forwarding or managing shipments, it feels
Yeah.
like it's still missing something like this. For pleasure, but also I think it could be useful for training
Mm.
people.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because I think there are, I have on Steam, I saved to my
Quite
Steam
some
wish
games.
list quite a few games. There are a few. Logistical is one of them, but Logistical is where you do kind of plan shipments and it's more truck based as well, but you're more
Oh
planning
yeah.
and scheduling. But
Or like a
Logistical is
dispatcher, or how?
yeah, but it's not a live simulation. It's really more the planning on a dashboard. It's
Okay,
not
yeah.
like you have a VR VR glasses on and you're sitting at a desk doing things. It's really more just yeah planning shipments. It's not really a simulator of the daily real life.
Mm,
It's more like you're kind of orchestrating God.
I see.
It's more a strategy game.
Like a SimCity, but for
Yeah,
transports. Yeah.
and of course lower budget because it's not a hot category. And
Unfortunately.
the thing also with Logistical is that it's pretty generic, I believe. That every country, yeah, so the developers just made kind of a version of every country
Mm.
with the biggest cities of every country, and then you can ship from one city to another. And I think it's really, it's obviously a really cool idea, but this is not at the level of Euro Truck Simulator.
No, indeed.
No. There are also supply chain professionals who have who have created games or simulators. Michiel and I, with our team, we actually participated in the OptiQuest game,
And
which
we
was
kind of won, or didn't we?
yeah,
Kind of.
we
We won a small part of the
yeah,
game. We
Yeah.
won the sales division
the
part.
sales projections,
Yeah, the sales
yeah.
projection. We had the best projection and the best sales. Our inventory wasn't as well managed as it could be, but we still got a prize,
Yeah.
which was very nice.
And
It
I
was a very
understand there
nice
was
moment.
totally no luck involved at all.
No.
Nothing at all, nothing at all.
No.
It was very, very much calculated that we were gonna make those sales. So yeah.
Yeah, but it was a really great team experience. I highly recommend it for supply chain companies or companies who want to kind of immerse their teams into the supply chain world. It was great fun.
We
Yeah.
did play a similar game, I think, a few years back already about synchromodality, I think, for the Flemish Institute of
Yeah, was
Logistics.
this at
Yeah.
the Transport and Logistics
Yeah,
show?
because the game, of course, was set up to convince people that you could ship synchromodality as well, like you could
Yeah.
ship across different modes of transport. Uh, but even in the game, people were so competitive and so
Yeah.
set up with
Yeah, I
costs that
remember.
everything went over truck, and there were like, yeah, everything got caught up in
Yeah.
the game.
And I also think it was like at the end of the trade show as well, and we were
Yeah.
all like sitting with people we knew really
I think
well.
maybe the first beers were served already as well. Might have been involved.
was very competitive,
It
and
did.
the collaborate. Like I think, yeah, kind of the realization that you were supposed to have from this game was you need to collaborate and work together. But yeah, obviously,
It didn't happen in the game. No.
no,
So
not
very
at
good game
all.
in that
No.
sense.
But that brings me to honestly the best idea in the supply chain game world anyone has had for the past decade, which is, yeah, I've pitched this to the team many times previously because I just love it. Um, a Monopoly edition, but in a supply chain and in a port theme, really. So, for example, for the port
You
of
could have it per
Antwerp,
port, yeah.
Zeebrugge, Rotterdam, you can have per port, or even a global version that really just has all the legendary locations from inside the port. So for Antwerp, we'd have the Jaarkuk, for example, the Havenhuis. There are so many options there, and I think it would be, yeah, as well as the kind of the instruction cards that you have in Monopoly. They're also obviously then
I
themed
can see
in
many
a
options of
maritime
making
theme.
money on the side on those kind of
I
Monopoly
just love
games.
this. And I researched this a little bit, and there is a company in Bruges
Yeah.
that specializes in these custom Monopoly editions.
Oh.
But yeah, yeah,
Can
it's a
you
big
order them, or is
investment.
it like copyrighted and you have to ask
No, it's a
Monopoly to do
custom.
it?
You have a custom edition licensed and developed, so it's quite a financial investment as
Oh,
well.
okay.
But I mean, the Port of Antwerp,
So
if
if every
anyone's
one of our
listening,
clients and their clients they buy a version, then we might be able to make it happen.
exactly. Yeah, let's launch a Kickstarter.
Well, if we are talking about monopolies, there has been some news this week about MSC together with BlackRock to acquire a lot of ports around the world. Um, is this a too big of a monopoly in the terminal space, in the carrier space, or what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, it's really becoming a monopoly, and it was kind of big news, I think, in the sector. Um, I think like if we look at economics class, then we can see this like a natural monopoly. It's like running trains in a country. It doesn't make sense to have 100 companies running trains because then you would have 5 trains running each track. So they have to work together. So it tends towards a natural monopoly. Same thing you see with like Amazon doing all the deliveries everywhere, and they try
Mm,
to vertically integrate and
yeah,
have everything in their own control
yeah.
because that makes it easier. And I think that will continue unless we have good technology. If we can integrate easily, if smaller companies can work together really easily, like if you have the
Mm,
physical internet, for example, then it becomes
mm,
easier to have smaller companies that have their niche that can do transport from A to B for that specific kind of transport better than I think like a monopoly company can do. So we'll see. I think it will continue. There's a financial incentive to do so. But good technology will prevent that there is just one company ruling all of transport and logistics, for what I think.
hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully,
I
yeah.
think the timing of it is also, yeah, not a coincidence, given the recent, yeah, policies and strategies that Trump has announced. Yeah, it's a special time in uh, in geopolitics right now.
It is. It's hard to predict what will happen next.
Yeah.
All right, then I think we got all the news for this week.
There is one more big news item that we have to share,
Ooh, what is it?
which is no, it sounds like I'm gonna make a big announcement now. Duckflow was nominated for the TED Changemakers Award, so very cool. The TED will select 30 companies who have yeah, a very successful sustainability mission. Really are making a societal change as well. And there were over 150 applicants, and Duckflow was selected as one of the finalists. So that's fantastic. I'm very happy about that. Go support us. Vote at if you have a TED subscription, TED or La Libre
You
subscription.
need to have a subscription to vote.
Yeah, then you can vote for us.
They
So
thought about that. Very smart.
if you don't have a subscription, go get one and vote for
Yeah.
Duckflow.
Yeah, that's indeed very nice news. What are the next steps in the awards? Is there like a coming up round where we have to defend our project, well, Duckflow, or what do we have to do for it?
The So the first step is get a TED or La Libre subscription. Second step is go to changemakers.be. There you click on vote now and you cast your vote for Dogflow. And then there will be the awards show happening on, let me just check when that's, there's a jury as well. And the awards show is happening on the 25th of March.
The 25th of March. We'll be looking forward to that. Hopefully, we win. All right. For me, that's it for today. If Pauline or Michiel, do you have any points to talk about? No? Then I thank you for listening and being here, and hopefully we'll see each other next week. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Bye bye.